The first part of the external ear is the auricle, and this is composed of the helix, the antihelix, the tragus, the antitragus, the concha here and here, which are just the depression in the auricle, and the lobule. The next part of the external ear is the external acoustic meatus, shown here. The external acoustic meatus functions to send vibrations from the outside of the ear to the tympanic membrane, which is the border between the external and middle ear. The components of the middle ear include the auditory ossicles, the malleus, incus, and stapes, the tensor tympani muscle, the stapedius muscle, the chorda tympani, and the tympanic nerve. There are several walls of the middle ear that we need to be familiar with. The labyrinth wall separates the tympanic cavity from the internal ear and is made up of the cochlea, oval window, and the round window. The tegmental wall, which is the roof, is made up of the tegmen tympani, and this separates the tympanic cavity from the dura mater. The membranous wall, which is the lateral wall, is made up of the tympanic membrane and the chorda tympani, which is a branch of the facial nerve, passes through this. The jugular wall, which is the floor, is made up of a layer of bone that separates the tympanic cavity from the superior bulb of the internal jugular vein. The carotid wall, which is the anterior wall, separates the tympanic cavity from the internal carotid artery. And the mastoid wall, which is the posterior wall, has a canal for the facial nerve with a small aperture that leads to the mastoid air cells. The inner ear, or the labyrinth, is composed of two different parts. The bony labyrinth, which is made up of the semicircular canals, the vestibular complex, and the cochlea. And then the membranous labyrinth, which is located within the bony labyrinth and is composed of semicircular ducts, the utricle and saccule, and the cochlear duct.